Hey everybody, today's an exciting day for me. I just picked up my SSR 125. I just need to get this thing built and get riding it so that I can ice race it. Anyways, let's get to building this thing. Again, I picked up this black SSR 125 from East Central Sports, which is an awesome dealer to work with. Love those guys over there here in the Twin Cities. I'm excited to get this thing built and to get out riding it. So let's get this thing put together. Oh. This thing is cool. There we go. Well, I've never unboxed one of these before, but first impressions are, they did a great job packaging that up. I like that. Registration, handlebar risers, number plate. Let's cut this number plate out since it's on the bottom of the box. Set that aside. Looks like they used some heavy duty wire here. Holy cow, that baby's on there good. All right, now I'm gonna hold this. Got that off. Cut both these. Okay. Pull the front tire out. You got the ties for the handlebars here, so I think the next thing I'm gonna do is pull these off, and then I can get the whole top of the frame off, I think is what I'm gonna do. And then I'll take all those verticals out. Let's pull these off, and I think there's just two ends on them here, so I'm just gonna twist them off. Okay, that came off of the frame easy. Off the shipping frame. And these wires are, these cables are nice and coated with rubber so that they don't scratch anything. I like that. And as you can see there, the forks are tied into the frame, so that's not gonna go anywhere there. All right, so here we got a Phillips and a 10mm, and we're just gonna take those things off here now. So there's, at least on the top side, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of those. So let's get those babies off. Now that those 8 bolts are off, we should be able to lift this right off. Yep. Set that baby out of the way. Now I think what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take these vertical stands out. Let me check to see if the bike needs these verticals anymore, if the straps are tied to them or anything. Doesn't look like it. So there's a couple of angles here. There's a 45 in this corner and in the opposite corner over there. So next thing I'm gonna do is take all 8 of these verticals and those 2 45s off. I gotta say, this thing is packaged remarkably well. They, SSR has got this shipping figured out. Let's check this thing out. Come here. So we still, with all, you know, it was tied on to the bike was tied onto the bars before, but, you know, from here to the frame. But this thing is still steady, just the way it is like that on the frame. So, you know, you got the front forks mounted down, still got these tie downs on each side in various locations. Seems to be doing awesome. Got the handlebars right there. And I like how they protected all the plastics too. That's really nice. All right, next thing I want to do on this, after the frame is all off, is I see we got some some fender parts here, so I'm going to go ahead and take these off so that the step after that we can disconnect the bike from the frame and pull it up and get it on a bike stand. As you can see, the shock The shock is out, of course. Everything's all compressed here. We got a temporary bar and a shipping bar right here that goes in place for the shock. So we'll wind up taking that out and then bring the shock and bolt it in place there. So for now, let's get this thing untied from the frame. Might be a little bit tricky because it might fall. All right, we got two more of these straps right here. Oh, I'm just joking. I thought it would fall. This thing's not gonna fall because the forks are connected in the front. So once we get these disconnected, it should still just sit there. It just won't be quite as tight. You know, twist them one way, get to the middle, and you gotta twist them back. If I was smart about it, you could just take it from the middle and twist it. I don't know if that would be harder or easier, but could be able to give that a try. Looks like they got some sort of tool at the factory they run it straight around and then they tighten it down by twisting it a few times. I'm not quite sure what they do there, if it's a tool or what. So I think the next thing is to unbolt the front, and then it will be totally loose and we'll move it to our bike stand. All right, so what we got here is a 17 on this side and a 14 on that side. But quite honestly, I don't need the 17 because this thing is only finger tight, so. All right, so let's get this bolt out of here. Let's see. Oh yeah, this baby will just pull right out. Try not to tweak the forks. Got these two spacers in here. Got the long spacer, which goes on the disc brake side. And we got the short spacer, that one's shorter. Goes on the opposite side from the disc brake after when we put the front wheel on. Now that everything's all disconnected, let's lift this baby up and put it on our bike stand. Let's see, we got a bunch of goodies here, but there's one large nut in here. This guy is for that shock. So we took that nut off already, pull the bolt out. This shipping bar comes out just like that. Put that to the side, we don't need it. Now, let's see, I'm gonna cut this. The swing arm's gonna fall. I don't know if it's gonna screw me up or not. Now all we gotta do is just line this up and get the swing arm up there. Let's see, I think I'm gonna put this in the same way it came, which is the nut will be on the side of the chain so that when you pull the bolt out, it doesn't need to interfere with the chain at all. All right, so put that on. All right, these are 14s on both sides. Tighten that down. That's that. All right, now let's get the front wheel going. Now, handlebars are right here. Those babies are in our way. Let's cut those loose. 3 zip ties. Okay, we're gonna take those. We're gonna set them out of the way for now. There's a little rubber shipping block in the caliper just so that the brakes don't compress in shipping. So I'm gonna take that baby out. That bolt doesn't look normal to me. Am I the only one that thinks that? Let's find out. This thing, I bet, just needs to swing around a bit. Just not sure how yet. This can't be that hard. And the caliper's not even lined up. I wonder if that's a bracket? Oh. Okay, come here. All right, So this whole setup just doesn't look right the way it is, right? But it's kind of nice the way they shipped it to us. So this bolt right here actually has got to come out of here and go in there. But they got it set up pretty nicely to where all we got to do, we can mount the tire up just like this, and that brake caliper is clear out of the way. So we're gonna put this bolt in, this front axle bolt, and then we're gonna, let's see, we'll probably have to loosen this guy up here, loosen this one, take that one out, and then rotate this caliper down and reconnect it. That'll be it. When we're doing this front tire, let's just remember that the long bushing goes on the brake caliper side. Let's see here. This ain't too bad. Get that all lined up, push it through. That's that. It's easy enough to do on your own. The nut is a 17, and the bolt head is a 14. Snug that up. Now, let's move down here to these bolts. Then we'll get after the one that's only mounted to the caliper. Break that one loose. Take it out. Okay. I'm gonna make sure that the caliper sits down across the disc. The pads are on either side of the disc, of course. This thing's kind of a pain. Oh, there we go. Pull it out more there. That's what you want to do. All right. Now that I got enough slack there, this is kind of a bear. Oop. Actually, I think I wonder if what I need to do is put the handlebars on, open the reservoir, and push those pistons back in. All right, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Is, since I'm having so much trouble here, I think I'm just gonna move to the handlebars, get the handlebars on. Once those are on, I'm gonna open the brake fluid reservoir, and then compress those pistons so that I got a ton of room, and make that job easier. That's what we're gonna do. Pull the plastic off. There's my brake lever. And now me pushing it's gonna be super awesome too. They got this in there. So it came compressed. I think maybe they're playing a trick on me. Now we just need the risers or the box. Let's check and see what we got for handlebar risers. So I understand. Okay, so these are the 6mm Allens, and then we got the 4 nuts were in this same bag here. And then these 4 nuts here are for these. So let's go work on that. Okay. I should probably have a clue what size these are. These I think are gonna be 12s. Got a 12 gear wrench I'm gonna use. Oh boy, I got parts all over. Again, I'm all by myself, which is fine. Just gonna be a hair more tricky. Let's see, we wanna figure out how we want all these cables. How do we want all these cables? Not like that. Seems like we're twisted maybe? Oh yeah, that's what we need there. All right, so I think the number plate will cover these up like that, and then the brake cable will be in front. All right, good. Okay, got that. Let's get at least one of these on. 2. Next one. I keep pulling the brake. That's not doing me any good on the bottom. Based on these little lines that are here, looks like my bars are too far to the left. Bump those over. Try and get them more in the center. Doesn't need to be exact, of course. Go find another 6. Alright, there's my other 6. So I think we'll... Good thing I got the ratcheting wrenches. Get that snug and then check to see if I like where they're at. Let's see, I do want to make these a little more even. You can see I got a big gap on this side and a smaller one on the other side. That's better, I like that. Handlebars on. Oh yeah. Okay, so I think for now, I'm just gonna leave that open. All right, now I'm gonna see if I can press those pistons down. Okay, we're gonna slide this off again. Okay, we're gonna be careful, of course, not to allow that to touch the ground or get to where any dirt is. So I'm gonna put that on a towel so that the pins are up. Okay, so now that the cover is off of the brake fluid reservoir, I expect that I can push these in easier. So now you can see those things are all the way in. I'm not sure if you guys are gonna have to do this. Could just be my luck. Possibly. Hopefully you guys don't have the same experience. It's not the end of the world if you do, but it's doable. I'm guessing most of you guys are handy with tools around the garage. If you're not, if you don't want to get into this, almost every dealer, I know East Central Sports does, they give you the option to assemble these yourself, or they can assemble them at the shop for you, and then you can come and take the bike. All right, so now got a nice gap in there. Shouldn't have any trouble. Slide the caliper bracket back on. All right, I got it. That's kind of an ordeal. All right, but it's on now. All right, the pads are on both sides of the disc, which is exactly what we need. Put these in there. Let's see, I forget what size those were. They look like a 12, but that's not gonna work. Maybe it will. That should be good, I think. I'm gonna make sure one more time that the pins that hold in the pads are tight, so. Let's see. Turn the tire so I can get in there. Oh yeah, that guy's good. Top one's good. All right, that's it. All right, so the last thing now, that fluid level looks good. I'm gonna put this cap back on. That was a night and day difference. Taking that cap off. Get this one on, tighten it down. Tighten that one down. Gotta regroup after getting that brake all squared away. Put all my tools away that I don't normally need. All right, so as far as the rest of these parts, let's see. I'm gonna take all these and I'm just gonna wait on these for a minute. Let's get some of the big stuff out of the way, like the gas cap. It's kind of big and bulky. It's got the owner's manual. Keep that somewhere safe. A zip tie, not quite sure what that's for yet. This obviously goes on top of there. The breather. Take our cover off, remove label before using. Put that baby on there. All right, so I got the front plastics here. These are a little bit different than previous years. I kind of like it. This guy bolts up underneath. There's 5 holes there. We're gonna use 3 of them. And you know that because there's 3 bolts right there. 1, 2, 3. We're gonna take those out, and those will screw in to the bottom of this and sit right there, of course. And then we got the 2 pins on top here of this guy right there, and one on the other side. And what that's gonna do is, we'll put this on next. This has 2 little holes in the bottom there. You can see those. That'll sit right in there real nice. And then it'll just have 1 screw in the top, which is also already on the bike. So we're just gonna take these 4, or the 1 screw plus the 3 bolts down there out, and then we'll be able to get these plastic on. As you saw, it was actually easier for me to bolt these up with the number plate off, because there's 2 little 7mm back here, right there. As you can see, there's 1 and there's 2, the other one back there. And so there's 7mm. I just use a nut driver back here, but then a Phillips over here on the front, but it's almost impossible to get to that with the fork right there. So I would recommend putting the brake cable through the brake cable holder guide first before putting the number plate on. All right, now what's next is putting the rear plastics on. This probably tucks in behind that one maybe. So it looks like I gotta take the seat off, which those, I believe these are gonna be 8mm right here. Take those 2 off, pop the seat off. Then I think I'll be able to get this one and that one on, and probably this one as well. Seems like it's pretty well secure. Oh, I might need to take these plastics off. Just a couple of Phillips screws here. That's all that is. So we're gonna put a screw in from that direction. We're gonna put a screw in also from this direction right here. So the back fender, I bet, is gonna come over here, clip into these 2, and then it probably has a screw hole for those. So I was trying to find out what these screws are for. I'm not quite sure what these bolts are for just yet. But I believe I figured out that the small ones, with assembling these plastics, the longer ones are gonna be too long. They're gonna go and punch straight through the plastic if I put that one in there. So that can't be that one. I only got 2 short ones. There's gonna be 1 here, 1 there. So this has gotta be right. Short screws in on the front side there, longer screws right here, they're 1, 2. And then this back piece goes in, and there's 3 screws you can see that goes on it. 1, 2, 3. So now each one of these 4 holes does have to go through these little slots here. Those are the slots. These are the, I'll call them the pins or the clips. So we sort of gotta get this stuff all in the right position here. Another set of hands would probably help here if you got a buddy. Oh, I'm losing it. Looks right, but there's quite a bit of gap right here. I don't like that. Maybe if I get a screw started, that would help. Get this other one in. I don't really like how this is working out. It seems like I'm gonna pull that tab down. This just doesn't seem back far enough. Oh, there. Just had to give it a nice pull. Now, that does seem right. Just gotta work with it a little bit. I started these screws, kind of got them in place, and then just a combination of pushing down on this back piece and also pulling it back so that these clips can slide over their holes there or slide into place is what you need. I just gotta mount it back on the machine. Don't forget, as you're sliding it on, it's got these 2 hooks here, 1, 2. Those are gonna go right here. Make sure those are underneath to keep it stable. I think I got them. Want to make sure to get on the outside of the muffler on this side. There's just a rubber peg hanging off the muffler on this side. And there's no screw to it, it just holds the fender out. Looks like everything's in place. Okay, there's those. Now I got the 2 8s that gotta go in down here that we took out from before. I got 2 more screws and nuts that are remaining. I also have the 1 nut from the shock, but we know we don't need that one. I gotta figure out what these do. I don't know what they do. Oh boy. Hold on. Don't have the 12 and the nut driver. Oh, good. 10. These 2 bolts, they hold the fender here to the gas tank. So 1 here, and then same thing on the other side. That does it for those 2. All right, so the last couple things I'm gonna do here, it's just we got the zip ties on the shifter and on the foot pegs. So we're gonna take those off. I'm gonna cut this one. We also got 1 on the other side for the foot peg on the right side. There is a tag over on this side that says, warning, please be sure that the engine mount bolts are tight before riding. So that's gonna be this guy here. So we almost need to, looks like, take that spring off so that we can get a ratchet over that and get the 1, 2, and I think that's it. Let's see what we can do here. I had a spring puller, but I had to use it on had to lend it to a friend on a snowmobile trip. So he's got my spring puller. Actually, you know what? I might have another one. Nope, I don't. All right, so here's what we're gonna do with these engine mounts. We're gonna use a 12 on this side because I don't have a spring puller, and it's just easier not to take that spring off. And it's gonna be a little tricky. Let's see, hang this thing on this side and get that in there. I got a gear wrench on there. I think a wrench is gonna be your only option there. It doesn't look like you're gonna have the angle over there to get a socket on there. Oh yeah, that baby's tight. I don't know how many of these are actually gonna be loose out of the box, but I may as well check them. Yeah, those babies are tight. All right, we did that. That can go. All right, remaining items on this thing is gonna be the sticker protectors, which I really like. Oh boy, is this right? These sticker covers are directly over the stickers themselves, so if you're not careful, you can pull the actual sticker off from underneath it. So these are the exact shape as the sticker itself. So just be sure that you're pulling only the sticker covers off and not the actual sticker itself. It can be kind of hard to differentiate them, but take your time, you'll get it. Oh, I like the way that looks. That is cool. Looks great. I love it. With the gray and a little bit of red mixed in there. Yep. I'm liking it. This is also super easy to come off. Oh, I don't really like that. I'm gonna unscrew those screws so that I can get the whole thing off instead of burning them. All right, so we'll get this off. And this one can go back on. I'm gonna take this one off. Try to make sure to get all of it. Got some hanging down underneath there yet. Okay, I think that's it. All right, well, the build is complete now, except for just putting the gas in the gas tank and changing the oil. They're shipped with shipping oil, so you're not gonna wanna run it with what's in there. The recommended is 10W40. I don't have any of that yet, so I need to go get some. And then we'll be firing this thing up and kind of going through its break-in period and then getting it out and riding it. If you want a machine like this, I would go to shopeastcentralsports.com. They have a wide selection of these there. You can get it shipped to you all throughout the United States, or you can also come and pick it up. They'll do both. Thank you for sticking around for the video, and we'll catch you guys later.